All right, because I speak so much about real life, I thought I would flesh out what I mean by real life. So, the implications of reality, your reality specifically, and what it really means when we talk about real life. I even use this in my tagline, which is we train for real life for life. So the for life portion is fairly self-explanatory. It is the test of longevity, but the first part is chock full of implications that we're going to break down. Two things before we start. I want you to think about this in the context of keeping self-commitments, okay? And the reason why that is that throughout our day, everything we do, whether we're making very, deliberate, conscious decisions, or whether we're doing things more subconsciously, automatically, rote, or because we have to. Either way, we're all day long, we're making these decisions, which are our priorities, which are our commitments, okay? So this is why I say think of it in terms of keeping a commitment to ourselves. What we need in order to keep those commitments, though, is energy, right? So ultimately, think of everything in reality, in our real life, in terms of how it affects our energy. And then finally, I want you to think about, visualize an upside down pyramid, because that's how I like to think of this. So the pointy part, the top of the pyramid, would be sitting at the bottom, because that's the smallest portion, and the biggest part, the foundational part, will be sitting at the top, because that's the largest portion. All right, so here we go. First layer, first tier, first category, however you want to look at it, of this reality pyramid is the most obvious. When we speak of real life, we're talking real life versus theory, real life versus something in a bubble, something in a like a lab controlled setting. Okay, so get that out of the way. Layer 2 is where most people end, and this is what I call life happens, right? So these are all of the things that we cannot plan for, that are uncontrollable. The only thing we can control is ourselves anyway, right? Which is, if that. But these are the things that, despite our best laid intentions, our structures, our routines, and our desire to control things, are going to pop up. And this is the pit of excuse, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen. It could be illness, it could be, someone's death of a loved one. It could be a move. It could be something, happy, a marriage, a birth. It could be a change in jobs. It could be something small, like we lose something and we have to backtrack. We make a mistake. It could be a pain in the butt, like your car breaks down, or you run into something just taking a crazy amount of your time that was unexpected. So all these things, again, pretty self-explanatory. Life happens, could be anything. And this is where people will say, I was doing so great on this nutrition program, on this exercise regime, and then this XYZ happened, and then it threw me off track. And it's valid, right? Because something did happen, something probably big, something very, disturbing. But the fact that it threw them off track just says that whatever way it was implemented, it wasn't working. All right, now we get into the meaty part, layer 3, 4, and 5. Layer 3 is what I consider logistics, as well as your capabilities, not capacity, capabilities. So your logistics includes everything: time, schedule, including your schedule, time, money, and your things. So let's start, anywhere here. The easiest would be money, like your actual financial status, or your financial situation. Time is your actual schedule, could be your actual schedule, your real schedule, right? So what are your actual hard landscape portions of your week, your calendar, your day? How many days do you work? How many hours do you work? What are the time commitments you have to organizations? Or do you have a big family? Do you have a spouse, pets? All these things that take up people's times to take care of. things that you have to take care of. Your actual environment is part of your logistics. You know, do you have a long commute? Do you have to walk up the stairs? Do you have to park far? The environment of your physical surroundings is part of your logistics, right? Do you have storage? Like how easy, how difficult, how long does everything take for you to live your life, right? Does it take you 5 minutes to get ready? Does it take you 2 hours to get ready? Nothing is better or worse. I'm just saying, what is the actual reality of your current life? So we have to accept, honor, and recognize what is before we can think about what could be, should be, would be. Okay, layer 4. This is what I consider your capacity level and your mind-body complex level. So what is your emotional state, your mental state, your physical state, and your spiritual state, right? And all these things sort of could be are very interconnected and could jump. One could cause effect on the other. So do you have a chronic illness? Are you an empath like me? Don't do it. Not like you could choose, but don't recommend being an empath. Are you depressed? Are you on an emotional high? Are you on an emotional low? Do you have anxiety? Do you have extra stresses? All these things that drain your energy are part of your of this tier. The capacity is due to the fact that regardless of your capabilities, regardless of your skill sets, if you're emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, if you're depressed, we cannot expect, that would be your reality, is what I'm saying. So if you keep trying to trump your capability over your capacity, then it's not going to end in anything else but burnout sooner or later, right? So we need to honor every day where you are in your capacity and your mind-body complex. Then layer 5, this is one I think people don't consider its impact enough, which is your personality. And by personality, I mean everything that affects your worldview, your likes and dislikes, your inclinations, things that repel you, your first level, gut response to things, your philosophy, your faith, your identity, your sense of humor, your intellect, all these, your character, persona, all these things are part of that personality layer. And this is exactly why I like to start and begin with people here, because your personality is going to really inform the strategies that help you achieve the commitments, right? So the goal could be the same, and we could get there in many ways. Different people could get there in different ways, right? And this is where all this individuation that we've identified with the other 3 layers comes in handy, but especially the personality layer in how we could set up the conditions, the strategies, and because different people have different ways of learning, all of that comes into play in order to get you where you want to go in the way that works for you, right? So this is these are all the things that I mean when I say, when I talk about real life, okay? All right, so finally, let's loop back around to what I said we'll loop back around to, which is what the importance of keeping our self-commitments. If we keep breaking self-commitments, then we lose self-trust. When we lose self-trust, we end up, feeling not only bad, but in the future, no matter how emphatic we are, how motivated we are, how energized we are with this, this is the time, or this is the goal, or this is the commitment I'm going to make and follow through, there's going to be a part of us, because of having lost that self-trust, that may end up self-sabotaging us. And again, these are things that we need to bring into light by always keeping our reality in mind. And then thinking about what could be, would be, and should be, which would then bring up the commitment, and on that same level, using the strategies of what works for us in real life. Okay, so something like that. But that's why keeping the self-commitments is so important, and that's why keeping true to our own reality is so important. So forget what, you know, what other people's realities are. Our reality is the only thing that really matters. And eventually the ability to kind of keep aligning, you know, all of our reality and the energy, it becomes easier. It becomes a little bit more automatic. And then the types of goals, or the types of commitments, or the level of commitments that we are able to reach will either get higher or stay true, you know, longer. So obviously when I say for life, I mean the proof of that won't come until the end of, you know, a long life, but it's something that we could anecdotally project, right, based on our past and our current. So anyway, think about what is true for you, honor that, and don't worry about other people's reality, but understand that there's a lot that goes into your actual status, your circumstance, your capacity in a day, and that is that's where you are, and that's where I meet you. All right.